Kaleo, this looks pretty bad. I don't think it's got a center strip in it. It's EPS foam epoxy. What I have to do is I have to grind this down and expose this, and I'll pour some epoxy resin in here to fuse the two foam pieces that are they're cracked, foam them together. But I have to grind this away so your color's going to be gone, and then what I'll do is I'll wrap the rails so it'll hold it. It'll be strong because you didn't break any of the glass on the top. You broke it on the rails, but I'm going to wrap the rails so that you should be able to ride it. It should be good to go after that, but we'll see. Otherwise, it's just kind of a throwaway board, and you don't want to throw it away. Kaleo, I ground this out. What I'm going to do now is just take that fiberglass out. It does have a center strip, which is amazing. Boy, that thing must have really hit hard. So we'll take it out and let you know what we're going to do after that. Here's the foam exposed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some epoxy, mix some styrene in here so it'll penetrate deeper into the foam, because obviously the foam tweaked, but and same with your center strip. Your center strip must have fractured, but I'll just fix it from this side, work on it from this side, and I'm going to have to fill it with some body filler. Otherwise you're going to fill this all with resin. You don't want that. It's going to be a little bit heavier, but it should be strong enough to surf, and I'll try to put a color on it, that maybe a band or something across it. So but I can't match all this stuff. Okay, Kaleo, here we are again. I have to grind into it's kind of like an operation. You got to cut into the victim to repair the victim. If you have a hip replacement, they got to take out the old to put in the new. So anyway, I've got to grind on this thing so it'll look pretty bad, but then I have to put cloth on it. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but this is what has to be done, because I'm going to lay cloth about that wide, probably a couple layers, smaller and then wider, because on the rail, that's what, when it wraps the rail, that's what's going to give it rigidity. Hey Kaleo, there's a lot of salt water in the board. It sucked it up, so putting the sun on it and let it drain out. And it was great. I found it. I kind of found it by accident, but I didn't realize, how much water was in it. So we'll let it dry out and then get the patch underway. Here's what's happening. I have to put some weight. So I had some garden soil here, so I'm putting it on the nose. I have to separate this a little bit to pour in the epoxy. It's got to open up a little bit so it'll drain in. So I've just got the board separate a little bit, and so I'm going to pour the epoxy in just a second. Make sure you read the instructions here. It's 2 parts of the epoxy clear resin and 1 part of the fast hardener. So I'm going to use this, I think it's a 2 ounce, 2 ounce cup. So I'll add 2 of these, 2 part A and 1 part B. But also I'm going to use some styrene. That's this stuff to make it super runny, so it'll run into the crack and fuse the 2 parts of the it's not polyurethane foam, it's EPS foam. Is that what I'm saying right? I don't work with that much. I usually just from old school, the polyester, but it's You can only use, you can't use regular resin or it just will eat away that foam. So anyway, that's what we'll be doing. Okay, I've got the trying to do both here. What I have to do is, like you see these bubbles, it's soaking in there. So what I have to do is I have to release before it sets up, because you only have about 10 minutes. I did about 2 ounces of the resin and 1 ounce of the catalyst. That's all I needed. So you see this stuff bubbling. So what I have to do is release this so the board will come back. I mean, only a little bit. It just comes back a fraction. So there you go. You see it just came back, and you see even more bubbles there because it's coming back and releasing the epoxy on the inside. So I don't know, I need somebody to help me with the filming of this, but you get the idea. So what I'll do after that, I'm going to Bondo this, have to fill it with Bondo, and then I'll glass. I've got to go down and get some 10-ounce glass. You got 10 ounce. This stuff, this is really, it's at least 10 ounce on the board itself. The Bondo works very well to fill this. So much of this is ground off, even though the Bondo, it's lightweight Bondo. I think the board will probably be, it will be a little bit heavier, but it's real close to the middle of the board. And I have to I'll put 10-ounce cloth, and then 10-ounce cloth, then 10-ounce cloth. So I'll wrap the rails. There'll be 30 ounces on the rail that'll hold it, so it shouldn't break there again. So we'll see the progress. I just filled this, and then I'll grater it and then sand it, and it'll be completely flat, and then I'll put the cloth on it. I'll take Surform, just flatten this as much as I can, because I don't want any excess Bondo on there. Just going to make it heavier. And I'm going to have to put enough 10-ounce cloth on it to make it strong enough, and I just don't want a lot of Bondo. So this is basically flat. The section that the glass will be laid. Just want to give you just kind of a perspective. The crack was right here, so it's probably about 8 inches, 6 inches on either side, and we'll lay a few layers. Okay, it's taped off pretty good. Just make sure you have enough tape on there so you don't slop the resin over, especially on the deck patch here. You know, you don't want to mess the pad up at all. And I've got pretty much the same thing on the bottom. Here's the 3 layers of 10-ounce cloth. Notice they're graduated, wider, little narrower, narrower, and then this is right on that break. So they'll be folded over. 30 ounces will be on the rails, you know, underneath the side. And it's really the integrity, the strength of the board is on the rails, gripping the rails. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's glass, saturated. I have to hot coat it. I've got to trim the glass off the tape and then hot coat it after that. Plus, I want to Surform really the high edges, so there's not, it'll minimize the sanding. Okay, here's what it looks like ready to sand. It's hot coated, and I pulled the tape. I had to cut through the cloth. You always have to do that to pull the tape. And then on the bottom edge, not too bad here. And when I sand it, we'll get back with you then. And then try to do some kind of pigment combination on it. Okay, we've got it sanded. It's pretty smooth here. And so I'm going to try to do some color that blends. I don't know what this is, Kaleo. I don't know what happened here, but I realize it's a little soft. But anyway, there's actually 30 ounces right here. 10, 20, 30. So 3 layers overlapped. Strength is in the rails. I'm going to try to just cover this and so it doesn't look too awkward, not too much of a contrast. I've got kind of a greenish color that'll kind of blend, and just trying to make this symmetrical. Okay, we got white on the rails. I got the pin line on here, and the next I'm going to do blue patch right here. Just do a solid blue, and yeah, then real close to finishing. Just put the blue on, and it blends pretty good in here, but it doesn't. You have this blue fades into the green, so I couldn't do that. But yeah, almost finished. Kaleo, here's the board. You had a funny spot right here. It looks like somebody sanded through. So I tried to blend a little bit there, but I just needed to cover it with a little resin. Looks a little odd. But tried to blend your color in here. And I had to do, it's kind of a design here because I had to grind all that away as I wrap the glass. Bottom of the board, I just put a solid blue across here, so it should hold together. If it breaks, I don't think it will, but you never know. The board is really heavy. I'm not really heavy, but it's really thick, and there's just a lot of board there, so hopefully it won't break again. You did have, it was strained a little bit on the deck, I noticed, because it was a little bit here. It was you can see it was kind of giving way a little bit, you know, as it bent down and then came back. But that foam was broken all the way. So I'll send you a whole video series on what we did step by step.